Tonight's show, we're welcoming guest and friend, psychic and business strategist, Britney Carmichael. As we do a little bit of a mystical chat, and we'll be answering all your questions with live readings coming up right now.
Does it look like a Devin or David?
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table or not. You saw like there's something in your end table that you did too.
My God, we're crazy.
Yeah.
You might be hard on your right knee when you're running. Make sure you're not too hard on the right knee.
100%.
Okay.
Honey, I'm a runway walker. Okay.
I don't know if she's showing me flowers. Like, relay them or redo them. These purple flowers.
Oh my God, Scott, the flowers are right there. My orchids are purple. They completely are dead.
Yeah.
Did you even know? You nailed
100%.
everything, every single thing. Listen, everyone, this guy.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
Who doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Camera's psychic who first questioned Brooke's cancer.
Scott Cruz.
Oh, there you
know
won.
it's
You
last
won.
You better question yourself. We're here to bring enlightenment, not confusion.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here?
The solution for me is awakening people to the bull.
I agree.
People need to stop being deterred by nonsense. You gotta summon the people.
I don't just come on here and talk or parrot. I'm living it.
In harmony with nature, in a mystical adventure, we're building on a culture.
Happy Thursday Night Live, everybody. Welcome to the Cruisiverse. How's y'all week been? It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy month, right? Told you so. I told you so, didn't I tell you? It's been crazy. And so as we've been saying, I'm like a broken record because week to week, things don't really change so much that May is a month of movement. Things get in gear. June, July, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But it could be in your favor or out of your favor. Hopefully the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs is in the delightful way, not the cray-cray way. So hopefully you guys are riding this wave. And like I've been saying, those of you who haven't been hear me before in the previous weeks is saying this is like a time of revelations, both individually and collectively. So a lot of those internal revelations are coming to realization, and a lot of things in our collective world are going to be coming to light too, which is going to form a revolution. Now, of course, revolutions can be very political, but I mean the essence of revolution as far as like making change, being inspired, right, and doing things and expressing yourself in a way that is unique to the soul, right? That's what we're talking about. That's that term. So welcome aboard. And we have a guest today, Britney Carmichael, friend. She's a psychic, a business strategist. She does wonderful retreats, and she's actually doing a summer solstice this summer, which you guys should participate. I've been sending clients to her, especially women. She's a great women's. I don't know if she will go. She can probably correct me on this, but she's very good at women's empowerment for sure. She's got that women divine feminine spice, and so she'll be on very shortly, and we'll be doing some tag team readings collectively. So get your readings in now. And while I'm saying this, let's put the adverts up there, okay? It's $30 for one question for both of us, $40 for two questions, $50 for a live view for both of us. So as you can see, the prices are different. There's no random card pulls today because you got two people reading, so you'll get a lot more information from us. Let's quickly see who's in the chat room right now. We have Jennifer David Cruz, my mother and father. My makers are always first in the room. Welcome aboard. Horses Trigger Hope, good to see you. Welcome aboard. Nina, a wonderful mod, Nina is in the room. Nina will help guide you as far as getting those questions going, getting your payments in through PayPal or Venmo. The descriptions are in the link, but she'll assist you. And the live videos can only be done through Venmo because that's the only way I can shoot you the link to call in. Okay. Allie Taylor, good to see you. Ketra's Oracle Magic, happy Thursday. I see you're typing a lot there. I'm not going to read it all, but hello, welcome aboard. Darby Mabry, good to see you. PB Bone Cutter, Danielle Hall, Kristen Villarreal, good to see you. Here we go is correct. Yes, that's what we're saying. Wesley, good to see you as well. James Porterfield, good to see you, brother. And I see that you just booked a live video for us. So Brittany and I are going to serve it to you. Unfiltered. Okay. Cecine Fordante, good to see you. Lisa Cruz, my sister from the same Missa. Hello. Amal Ford, welcome. Good to see you as well. Kate Yo, Tommy Garassi, and those you're watching, I can't see. You can only see who's chatting. So you have that privacy. So let me get to the collective read really first, real quick, so we can get everything else popping on the road. Let's see what the overall message is. I'll keep this collective read short because Brittany and I are also going to be doing collective read together, and shooting the shift for a little bit. So let's see. I'm going to keep this short and simple. All right, these cards. And again, guys, those you don't know, maybe new. I utilize tarot. I'm not a tarot reader, but even though I use tarot, I'm a psychic medium, don't need them for situations like this. Instead of sitting there pondering, Spirit likes to give me a little nudge, like, hey, talk about this, go here. Talk about this over there. So that's what the cards do to help in collective purposes. Okay, let's see what the message is. Bear with me. These cards, they're not as clanky as they were last week. Okay, let's see. All right, Eight of Swords, of course. Gotcha. All right. Okay, so first I have, of course, is the Eight of Cups with Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune card. It wasn't supposed to be in reverse, but I'm sorry about that. It came in the upright. What this is really saying to me, it's a very simple message, is what do you define the past to be for yourself? Right? Because we are continuing past modalities in our current intellect now, thinking it's present day, thinking it's future day. But those are past circumstantial things that we've gathered intellectually that don't really match the future. So we need to start asking ourselves, what do we need to drop? What do we need to close the doors on? What do we need to, say, walk away from? And a lot of times you guys are holding on to past circumstantial relationships, not so much the relationships themselves. Many guys are over that dude or over that girl. I'm over them, but I just can't stop thinking about them. You're still connected to the circumstantial aspect of what happened, and you haven't evolved from it. That's why you're able to walk away from it. And I would say, when you think you're missing somebody who's not really present, doesn't want to be in your life, you don't miss them. You're missing the point. You're missing the lesson, and they're the symbol of that lesson. And until we understand and extract the lesson from the circumstance, it's going to be a reminder. I miss them. I can't stop thinking about them. I don't know why I feel them. Are they coming back? All that unresolved. It's because you missed the lesson. When you understand there's a patience to this, when you understand that that's also, you don't have to beat yourself up because you haven't gotten past it. I have a lot of clients that ask me, do you get upset that I'm asking the same question? I'm like, no, I'm helping you process. That is the point, is helping you process. So be patient with your processing of closing those doors. Give yourself time to say, why have I been leaving those doors open? Why have I been considering those circumstantial experiences or circumstantial, circumstances to where circumstantial circumstances? Talk about redundancy. Why have I been so experiencing and holding on to those things? You'll gather and see maybe what you've been depriving yourself of all along. And that deprivation in itself will reveal your direction. Right? I always say, you don't know where you're going, where are you depriving yourself? Because that's where your direction is on the flip side. Look at the flip side, baby. And that's what the Wheel of Fortune is all about, starting that new cycle, starting that new chapter. If I'm not reminded, I do believe that came out last week too, in the collective. And I do believe a lot of guys got that Wheel of Fortune card pulled as well. So, of course, we tweaked. It may not be much change, but just kind of like a reminder. Sometimes we need a little cheerleader, like, cheer us on and to remind us where we need to be and where we need to go. And so that's what this message is all about too. Let me conclude with some oracles. See, I'm surprised. I said short and sweet, and I've actually allowed it to be short and sweet. How surprising. Every time I say short and sweet, I'm going to keep it short tonight, guys. I go on for 2.5 hours. Not going to happen tonight. Just pulling some oracles, too. I love this, actually. The Darkness card, right? Discernment, okay? And the Path, right? If you can't see that. The darkness. So many people are afraid of negativity. So many people are afraid of the dark. Embrace the dark. That's where creation spawns. Creation spawns from the dark, from the negative, or from the unknown. The things you're so scareful of, and all trying to be toxic positivity and all that bullshit. You're missing the point of the darkness. You're missing the point of deprivation. Like I said before, that is your direction. That is the path. So the oracles are kind of confirming that, what I just stated. And your discernment is how you figure it out. You're not going to logically understand why things happen to you, but your discernment tells you, what? I can sense a deprivation that I've been nurturing and trying to pacify instead of grow out of. That is where you find it. The discernment, the intuition is where it's at. That's where the direction is. The path is there. The darkness is just trying to push you out of it. It's push you in that momentum. So we came for that dark and light, the yin yang balance. And so when people say like dark is evil and light is good, it's like saying feminine is bad and masculine is good. It's like there's two components of spirit. There's two components in duality of things in our life. They're both for us. They're both for our tools to grow and to paint our picture and to paint on the canvas that we've chosen to paint on. So use that discernment, guys. Use that intuition, and it's time for us to gather that insight within our own personal lives so we can understand that we're the ones stalling, not the universe. It's a universe. Okay. All right. Let's get a quick message from Nina. The volume might be a little low on Nina's recording here on her message, so you might have to just turn it up and turn us back down. But I didn't have time to edit, and then we'll get Brittany on the show. Here's a quick message from Nina.
Thursday crew, when I was tapping in today for the channel message, I kept seeing an imagery of a lizard with its tail cut off, and I'm hearing in between the growing periods, allow yourself to rest, allow yourself rejuvenation, and almost kind of like this regenerative quality that the lizard has, and this persistence and consistency in nurturing and holding yourself through the moments. I just keep hearing hold yourself, and the song Lay Your Head on My Shoulder keeps popping up too. Paul Anka, like there's this energy of lay your head on your own shoulder and allow the regenerative qualities of your own healing capabilities to come through. And I also heard to not rush into decisions, just allow this growth period to fully get basked in that energy. Another thing Spirit was showing me too is that allow yourself to romanticize rest a little bit instead of going through with what the collective current feels like, which is like speeding up and a lot of momentum and a lot of movement, which is both good, but almost kind of like a short distance runner. They're saying sprint a little to then rest, and enjoy that type of rest that you get, because the growth will happen because of those periods of stops.
I love that, Nina. Beautiful. The growth will happen because the period of stops. I love that. That's kind of the temperance card that came out too. Yes, you pause. That's what gives you the fuel to continue. We have to understand life is like a wavelength. You have an uptick, and we need to understand when the downtick is. Rest, reflection. Beautifully said, Nina. Thank you so much. And without further ado, let's welcome our guest, Britney Carmichael. Brittany, how you doing? Oh, wait. I have you muted. Try it again. Sorry. Once again.
My throat chakra is exploding right now. I just want to be able to share, like, so much that's coming through is exactly what we've been channeling over here with our Girl Power Collective. We're calling it the rebirth. In fact, summer solstice theme is butterflies like crazy, because I feel like we're at this collective shift. Yeah. And I have a 5-step framework that I walk people through when they're in these times of like, I'm about to self-sabotage because the newness isn't here, but I know I've outgrown the old, and I don't know how to respond in that tender in between of letting go of the old and stepping into the new. And so I have a feeling that a lot of that information is going to come up today on how to navigate the chrysalis of change, so that you have the courage to let those wings unfurl patiently in divine timing, but also knowing that the past is over and it's not here. Like when it comes up to be released, it's not meant to be relived. And you have the confidence to know that you're fucking done.
Fuck, girl, she's on fire already. Yes, I love it. And that's true. Release, you don't relive. I fucking love that. And I might use that every now and then. I'll try to quote you, but I do like that. Release so you don't have to relive. And that's so true. And divine timing is so important. I think people are trying to rush, thinking being now means that everything has to happen now. And that's the misconception. Being now is being present, right? And so, yes, divine timing is very important. So let's first talk about who you are, right? Tell people who maybe not know who you are, what you do, what your expertise is. Fill them in.
Yes. So hello, everyone. I'm Britney Carmichael. I'm the founder of Shine School and the Shine from the Inside Oracle, which I will pull a collective card for everyone before we really dive in. But for the last 20 years, I've worked behind the chair of my luxury vegan hair salon called OMG Hairstyles. That has taught me a lot about how women think and feel, and paired with my near-death experience and my mom's massive stroke that paralyzed her in 2012. And then she overcame that miraculously. So witnessing a miracle really woke me up back then to recognize that I was overweight, I was overworked, and honestly, I was fucking over it all. I was so burnt out, and I was, a top leading expert in the hair career, but Spirit was asking me to step outside of the chair, out from behind the chair, and really start serving from a deeper place of, instead of making women look good, I wanted to make them feel good. And with my near-death experience, it kind of led me to go see a psychic in 2012 who said, buy yourself some tarot cards, honey, you've got the gift. I'm like, oh no, like I'm doing this, right? It's talking to me, like I'm not crazy, right? And so in 2012, I actively began studying mediumship, and I'm married to a hypnotist. So luckily I have like a fast track to being able to tap into spirit guides and all the things. And that really, being a hairstylist, a pink haired hairstylist in Texas, vegan psychic is like kind of not heard of around here.
It checks all the boxes for you, right? It checks all the boxes of weirdness.
Anything else? I mean, so I really had to build like spiritual courage to come out of that closet and share my gifts as a medium, and teaching now women how to love themselves, to reclaim their power, to trust their intuition, and to really build a legacy that, makes them light up, that feels good. I'm a 20-degree Libra, double Pisces, so I'm all about following your passion and doing it from a place that feels good. So that's me in a nutshell. I love hosting women's events and just bringing the truth in the most beautiful, sparkle magic kind of way.
Look, and you know how to do, your aesthetic is on point too with everything. Your aesthetic is like bam, like even how you do your retreats and how you've, the aesthetic. I'm like, damn, this girl knows how to put together visually. So it's even visually stunning what you do too. And don't you have a summer solstice coming up too? You want to share that too this summer?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, for the last 10 years, I've been bringing women together and realizing that all the women that were sitting in my chair kept saying the same thing. And I'm sure, Scott, you've probably felt this way too. I feel alone. Have you ever felt that? Yes. If you're here watching, hello, yes. Welcome to the club. And so I just, as a Libra, I decided I'm going to put together a theme party. It was a full moon party. And I'm going to bring the women that sit in my chair that are all amazing, saying, I feel alone, nobody gets me. And so that started well over 10 years ago. And it's grown into these epic events and 7-day luxury chakra healing retreats. But for me, summer solstice is the ultimate day of pamper and play. It's my most favorite event that we do. And it's a 9 to 9, a whole day experience. I wanted to take what I teach at my 7-day luxury retreats and just boil it down into a 1-day experience where you have the holistic healing that you need for mind, body, and soul, as well as connecting with community that lifts you up. We bring in about 25 different vendors of local businesses. So we shine a light on people who are doing epic things in the world. So for me, summer solstice is all about collaboration and actually putting yourself in a room that will inspire you to transform and actually have the support behind it, not just the empty hellos. What do you do? Here's a business card. And that's how we became friends.
Yeah. And the loan thing is so, I think I got so used to that. I claimed it, right? Just like being alone and not needing anybody around. And so, yeah, I think it's important though that we do find a community of people that we do connect with on the same vibration, same tone, right? And so you and I are very unfiltered. That's why we match our energies. We don't give a fuck. We'll say whatever we want to say. And spirituality isn't some fluffy shit. It's about the being real shit, right? And so I think a lot of people who are seeking for spiritual communities, who are maybe just starting to need that down to earth, thinking. You and I, I'm sure you as well, we've all gone through the quantum physics and all that deep stuff of all these like hieroglyphics of spirituality, that it's like it doesn't resonate or help someone's evolution, right? And so I'm glad you do. And so what are the dates of the summer solstice? I'll run the ad later on, but what are the dates just again?
Yeah, of course. It's next Friday, June 20th. We also we actually just had one VIP slumber party spot open up. One of the girls can't come into town. And so we do an overnight party because, a lot of people are starting to fly in because this is our 5th annual event and it's growing. Nice. My vision, I'm just going to plant the seed right here because we're in a collective, powerful container. But my vision, I told Chris, if I don't hit my 25-year or 25th annual summer solstice, I did not see this vision through all the way to the end. I want it to be so popular where you're like, Woodstock, yes. Summer solstice with Brit, yes.
Absolutely.
Hello. So that's my wish and intention for tonight.
Well, you're the healing for the Woodstock. You're like the after party for Woodstock. How about that, right?
Literally, it's the light working Woodstock. And speaking of, I'd love to pull a card from my Shine from the Inside Oracle with just a collective message for everyone, because what you were sharing earlier with the 8 of Cups, turning our back to society and really finding what spiritually drives us. What is that thing that lights us up so that we can find that middle ground of saying, okay, what doesn't serve me anymore? What is out of alignment? What is not going to move me into that next chapter, which is obviously the Wheel of Fortune is a new chapter. I always call them a turning point. When I see that card, I'm like, it's a TP.
Okay, yes.
Point. you know? And so I feel like I want to just kind of riff off of that beautiful tarot pull that you had of like, we are all moving in this collective shift. Things are changing. People are leaving this planet. My mom just told me she just got in a horrible car accident, broke her ribs, all the things. Her dad died in the car. She told me this, Scott. She said, all 3 of my eyes are open and I know that I have a mission and I'm ready to live. And so like to witness that in my mom, hello, 2 cards flipped over. I know that we are all at a collective rebirth. I witnessed it.
So really quickly, was your mom kind of like maybe detached from the woo-woo stuff? Was she not so into it, or did she resist it? Is that why maybe it's kind of like, it made me tell the audience here is that why it was kind of like fanatical, amazing for you, is because she was not really embracive of the spiritual stuff?
Well,
before?
Okay, so I mentioned in 2012 she had that massive stroke that paralyzed her. So that was like a whole setback and rebirth for her. And then my dad died in 2021. And so now she's on her own and she doesn't have that support. And so it's been hard. Now she's taking care of my grandpa, who's 90, almost 93, who passed in the car accident. Yeah. So for her, it was just like this. I mean, not to air my mom's details out. Love you, Mom. Sorry if you're watching. But she basically just said, like, I didn't want to live. Like, I was just existing because this was so hard. And she's like, now I know that I'm meant to live. Like, I didn't I didn't die from the stroke and I didn't die from this car accident where I absolutely could have. I think it was like just that wake up call, kind of like my near death experience in a freaking car accident in Colorado.
Mine too.
Woke me up to like, listen, like pay attention. Your inner voice is guiding you. And if you don't listen, you're going to learn a lesson. Okay.
True.
And I was tired of learning lessons the hard way. And I thought there's got to be an easier way. And for me, I made that vow back in 2012. It saved me from not dying on a mountainside. And so I just made a promise. It was like, I vow to always listen to my intuition and follow through, even when it doesn't feel right. And even still to this day, there's little pings. Like the day before my grandpa passed away, my alarm went off to call him. It goes off on Mondays and Thursdays to check in. And Thursday, I had just seen him on Monday. He looks great. He's not going to die. I'm not going to call him. He died the next day. Like intuition, follow through on those little pings.
100%.
So like even still, I could channel your grandma and you're past this and tell you what's what. But even still, there's subtleties for psychics that like, it's a constant like refinement and learning of like, and it's not even knowing that we have the intuition. We all hear it. It's the follow through. And that's where makes all the difference in like a developed psychic, because we all have this ability, but the developed ones actually listen and follow through. So
and we've gotten kicked in the ass hardcore. I remember like in my early stages, I was always beating myself up for not. I'm like, gosh, like I would predict something out, and then like specifically, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And then like to watch the specifics unfold makes you feel even dumber. Like, how can I not follow that next time? So yeah, I mean, it's those are definitely the boot camp for trusting your intuition. So. And I've been working with a lot of clients too that are just saying like, how can I trust it? It's like, well, sometimes you have to not trust it to see it unfolded so you can say, wow, I didn't trust it. And look what happened. So I was just part of the school, of developing that intuition. And so, and just being, I would say people don't consider it. I always say that the main key is, just at least consider it. Is it life or death if you follow the intuition or wrote it out a little bit? No, it's if you at least consider it and be objective and observant, you realize, holy shit, it is leading somewhere. Holy fuck. And then like, it will lead you even further. I've had so crazy stories just being led in intuition, like things that they're just magical, right? And then too long to list, too many to list. But that's how I have that certainty of that, right? Because I've always been, the Virgo rising me is like, oh no, it's that has to be logical, explain it. Even when I was beginning to psychic, I'm like, what's the science behind this? I'm just making it's my own perception, right? And so until you start predicting things that no way you kind of like follow the evidence in that sense. So yeah, being curious and considering your intuition is very important. So pull some cards before we get into the actual one-on-one reading. See what the collective is on your end too.
Yeah, I got it. And the last thing I will say on that before I tell you what cards I pulled is that it's important to find and locate where you feel that in your body. You know how you talked about like you feel that intuition and then you also feel bad about not following through. I had that experience in a crystal shop where I was like, this grandma wants to talk to you, but I don't know who you are. I'm not Teresa Caputo. I'm not walking up to you and telling you shit. And when I left, I felt this like gut wrenching, like I had a gift to give someone and I didn't give it to him. It was like I missed the opportunity. And I remember that feeling in my gut, and I thought, I don't want to feel that again. Like I had a gift that I was too scared to give. And I felt that in my solar plexus very deeply. And so now I know when I feel that gut energy, like I need to act on it, because now I can locate where those feelings are in my body. And I think that's so important for people connecting to their intuition, is like, what does it feel like in your body, or where does it show up in your mind and your heart and your stomach? Like we all operate a little different. And I think the awareness of how our body responds is a really important piece to that. So
100%. We're one being. Yeah. We're one being. Yeah. So yeah, what are those beautiful cards? And show us the camera if you can too.
Yes, of course.
So they could see.
The Shine from the Inside Oracle deck is all about self-love and self-care rituals. I designed this because I created the Shine School, which is a 6-week journey of self-love discovery, reclaiming your power, and stepping into manifesting your purpose. And I realized that I'm sharing all this beautiful wisdom, but the truth is most people suck at consistency and when it comes to their self-care. So I really started thinking about, okay, the online course is awesome and it was way before its time. So like, woohoo. But it doesn't matter if no one's taking it and showing up and doing the damn thing. So I asked myself honestly, how could I be more consistent? And for me, the last 10 years at that time, it was reading Oracle and Tarot cards. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to turn all of my self-love lessons that I teach inside Shine School into a beautiful Libra-inspired Oracle deck that was for people who are more new to the woo and like intimidated by the devil and the death card and all the things, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
I was told I needed to be the sparkly bridge. So I literally created the most like sparkly and rainbow.
Girly girl, yes.
Very girly girl. But I wanted to be able to create an easy tool that sat next to the bed so that it would inspire you to connect to your self-care rituals. Now, the cards that came up for today are Create Your Own Happiness. I'm going to just zoom in here. Create Your Own Happiness, which I love. It's like right full moon energy that we've got going on. And then funny enough, the card with my face on it. It says show off your sparkle and shine from the inside.
I love it.
So this card, these together really are showing me that when you do what you love, when you follow what lights you up, when you listen to your heart, you truly do shine. And that's the name of the deck, Shine from the Inside. It's about being radiant and vibrant from the inside. I'm a hairdresser of 20 years and my mom is a hairstylist. So I know how to make you look good. And I've done it for 20 years. And I learned that if a woman doesn't believe, or if someone doesn't believe that they're beautiful, if they don't love themselves, they don't shine through, period. Whether you have a dick or a vagina or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a choice and a belief. It doesn't matter your hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, he said we tell the truth around here. So
yeah, or both. So something about both. So no shame, no discrimination of that either. But
exactly.
But you know, and that's the thing too, because people ask. I want to add to that too. We're going to open up for the reads. Is that many people say like how do I believe it? I'm like, forget about trying to believe it. Put love into it, right?
Yeah.
Stop trying to. I love the person I see in the mirror. How about like putting love into yourself? It's a different way, because a lot of people can't find a way to love themselves now. It's like, but you want to nurture it and put the love into it and say, okay, well, I'm gonna put love into what I'm eating. I'm gonna put love into maybe make myself feel a little better. I'm gonna put love into my health regimen. I'm gonna put love in talking nicer to myself. I'm gonna put love into cutting out the gossip and the drama and entertaining those relationships that are depriving of me. That's putting love into it. Like those are the changes we're talking about. That's loving yourself. And so many people just don't like what they see in the mirror and they're like, how do I love myself? It's like, it's again, putting love into it. Right. Putting love into it. And in conjunction to your cards, mine was the Two of Swords. It's almost like pick a lane, you know, and so many people are like, you know, wishy-washy about like, I want to do for myself, but I don't. And then that could create a stalemate energy to where it's like, I don't know where to go. It's like that stalemate energy is an illusion, because you're pulling on both sides of that rope, and you're pulling on both sides at the same time. It's like, you ain't going to go anywhere. You're going to fucking struggle if you're pulling on both sides. So it's like, let go of a side, like we're saying the first collective read, and then push on in the direction and pick your lane. And pick your lane is very much the essence of, as you know, of what is your expression. You know, seriously, if we always always put parameters and reservations of what we want, depending on like, I don't know if that could happen. It's like, we got to stretch that brain out. The brain's a freaking muscle. And if someone says, well, I want $1 million, and it's hard for me to imagine that. Well, I say, well, then fucking focus on 1 billion. Like, stretch that brain. This way, when you pull back to 1 million, oh, that seems easier, right? Oh, yeah, 1 million's fine. So go as far as you can with your imagination of where you want to go and what you want to do, and then go as far as you can to where it's like silly, and then you come back, you'll be so more in balance of what you really can do. You know, so we gotta know how to work that fucking brain and put that brain in check, okay? And whip that thing into gear, because it's doing the job for us. And so many people living by the brain and not by the soul, and that's where life becomes monotonous and boring and in fear, because the brain's doing all the work that it doesn't know what to do, right? So I totally agree. And to close on that, he was talking about the devil card, and the devil card pulled next too. So someone said I own the devil card. Like I think Cuddlewood Giant says something about she rocked the death card. The death card, okay? So the death, not the devil. Okay, the death card. But the devil card, come with that too, is like, don't allow your physical desires and your physical goals to get in the way of your expressions either. And as you know, Brittany, too, I'm sure you say it all the time, what you want isn't always what you need, what you need isn't always what you want. And so understand the difference of where want is coming from. And a lot of times we have wants to spite trauma that we've had. Well, I want this because it's going to pacify the unresolved trauma. It's like you don't really desire it in the soul. So understand the differences, right? Okay, let's see. We have some live video readings already. Add a third in the mix. Threesome.
I'm trying to keep up with your chat. They're so amazing. Like, big sparkle magic for you guys tonight. So excited to be here. You guys are so fun.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're quite normal. We're actually missing our ringleader, Iggy. Iggy usually comes on. He's like one of my ringleaders and gathers the humor in the chat. Okay, so we have James, Mandy, and Kristen. I'm going to James. Are you by your Venmo? I'm going to send you the link to dial in. So this is the live part that we can't bypass because I'm just not seeing who needs to. So we'll give that to James here. Make sure I paste it. Yeah. All right, James, you in the room? Get your link, and we'll see if there's a question. Let me check my Venmo. And guys, get your reads in now too, because we'll be closing as well. Let me just double check the PayPal as well. I think people are scared of you. They're scared to be told the truth. Usually they're bopping, but.
Let me tell you a true story. My mother-in-law, I was talking to her one day and she goes, Britt, I just don't call you anymore because I don't want to know the truth. Well, at least you're honest, thanks.
My mama I think my mom really said sometimes, like, Scott, I just don't want to hear the truth. Just let me talk. Just let me vent. Okay. Is there a question here? Okay, there is. Okay, here's a question from Patricia as we wait on James to call in. Question for Patricia Bonecutter says, do you see my business going bankrupt before the commercial realtor finds a buyer? I really thought I could trust my manager, but there's been a discrepancies in parts, invoices, and what was actually put on their repairs. Can you see anything about that? So do you need me to repeat that question?
Kinda.
Okay, so the first question is, she wants to know if her business will go bankrupt before the commercial realtor finds a buyer for it. Basically, she couldn't trust her manager not trustworthy. What's your read on that? And you'll go first on this one because I've read her, Patricia before.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's interesting. Before you even read the question, I started shuffling my tarot cards and one flew out so hard. So I'm just going to trust that. And it was the 5 of Wands. And that is all about having that conflict in the workplace, but also difference of opinion. So for me, it's kind of saying like, maybe you might start looking into another broker. I just saw this with one of my clients in listing their house. They listed it 6 months ago. Nothing's happening. And I'm like, that energy is not working for you anymore. Can you shift into a new seller? And immediately the energy changed and started getting more people into the door. So for me, I would say, can you get different eyes on it? Can you change the person that's selling it? And as far as the bankrupt goes, I mean, if you're already asking that question, can you get creative with a solution on selling off assets, letting employees go, that maybe like cutting areas where you're leaking too much? It's kind of like Scott talked about earlier, is like, where are we drowning in that energy? So maybe you can start throwing shit overboard now to lighten the load, so it's not so heavy.
Sure, yeah, I agree. And I don't see the business going bankrupt before the commercial realtor. I was like in a nick of time. You know, I think that'll happen. But like as Brittany was saying, you definitely have to get things in gear and don't trust the commercial realtor, and don't obviously, you know, you can't trust that manager, but don't rely on them to fulfill it. Like really take more control. And then I feel like in the nick of time, I think you'll be able to sell before it actually has to go bankrupt. But again, that's also a choice if you decide to do that as well. But I say if you take a step up a notch, as Brittany was saying, you could avoid that bankruptcy prior to the commercial realtor, you know, finding a buyer. So it feels like a nick of time. I got also with that the Knight of Swords, so it's like there's like a quick movement to this too. So like act quickly, things will resolve quickly. That's like that nick of time energy, and someone coming in to help to resolve that. So I've seen that the Knight of Swords is kind of a confirmatory on that energy as well. But definitely take Brittany's advice, like clear things out emotionally, intellectually, what's going on in the business, clear those nuggets out too, because that could also prevent manifestation and things also coming in for you, right? So I definitely agree with that.
Holding on too tightly to your dream that once was, and you've got to let it go.
Right.
And it might also not be a bad idea to bankrupt the company in a certain way. Like if it doesn't sell, can we do something in that capacity that, you know, saves you in the long run?
I don't think she'll have to. Right. Like I don't think she'll have to, but I do feel like if she did, that wouldn't be bad either. You know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't be bad. Like, so maybe your biggest fear, and honestly, it feels like a test of faith. Like maybe your biggest fear is that you'll go bankrupt, but like like you have to bankrupt the company. It doesn't mean you're not going to have a house, you know, like what's the real big fear? Is it like, I don't want to feel like a failure, or like, what's the underlying energy there?
Right. And remember, guys, these clearances are really important for like how you attract things in, because this lingering energy, like I say, is like a Febreze watered down fart. You could spray Febreze, but it's still the Febreze watered down fart. It's still there. It lingers. So you don't want to have this energy linger. Clear it out. And so then you can attract the right people. You'll be perceptive enough to, you know, to be attracted to the right people, and things move forward a lot easier. So yeah. All right. We have James in here now for a live session. Got 3 in a row here. So what's going on, James, brother? Let's see if we can hear you.
Hey, am I coming through?
Hello,
yep,
hello.
Okay.
Yep. Got you. Volume up. So what's your question for us there, Jamesy? And love the little pooch there.
Yeah, that's Luke. He's one of my 3. I don't know if I have so much of a question other than really to come on. I really wanted to come on just to say thank you to you, to Karma, to Abby, to Michelle. I can't remember everybody was there, but I'm just really grateful that you guys showed up for me for my breathwork class on Tuesday, and you know that you. And Iggy's not here, so hopefully he sees the replay, so he can, so I can thank him, and also Christine and Noel. Just thank you guys. You know, I wanted to cancel.
I know, and I made sure you didn't cancel. I'm like, no, dude, you're gonna stop talking that fucking narrative. Like, this is how you heal, is by moving forward and doing it. So, and you did great, you did wonderful, and you can do it every week. And how the hell could I like tell you to do something and not show up to help you do it, right? So of course you don't have to thank me. That's part of the process. But I think you're doing wonderful with that, and so keep doing that. So those who don't know, James, you know, is doing breath work and has been learning breath work and started his first class, and he's had some confidence issues with that. So he pushed it through, and he did a wonderful job. And there was wonderful people here in the chat that showed up and supported him too. And you know, I think that's the whole point, James, is like understand people do support you, and people support you just because they support you, right? There's no other extra reason other than they want to support you. And so embracing that, accepting that, we could be your guinea pigs. You know, so you don't have a question? Do you have a question?
Yeah. I really don't.
Okay, so good. Fine. So then let Brittany do a random card pull for you. How about that?
Sounds good.
Hi, James. It's so good to see you, and congratulations on starting that class. You know, I have been in exactly your shoes where I've hosted an event and just one person showed up. In fact, I hosted a yoga class yesterday and only one person showed up. So, and I'm well over 10 years into hosting classes and all the things. So I think it's beautiful to know that you're pushing through with courage to be able to share spirit and share your gifts and share your message with the world. So just remember, it's not about the quantity. It is just about the quality. And if your heart is in it and you've touched someone, then just know you've done a great job. So when you were talking, a card flew out and it was the Knight of Wands. And this is all about charging forward with that fiery conviction and that passion and that determination. So I think just having that why in your heart, let that blaze the trail for you every time you want to quit or every time you want to give up. I think just kind of coming back to your heart's like fire and letting yourself be lit up and like, I have a mission, I'm going to help people. And even if it's scary or even if nobody shows up, I'm still going to do it because my heart says so. So I hope that the Knight of Wands gives you that fire under your ass that you need to just keep doing it, because obviously you made an impact here in this
That's my voice. My voice is that fire under his ass. When he's feeling down, like, we're not doing this, James. We're not fucking doing that right now. We're not talking about this shit about I can and what if, what that. And so 100%, James. And understand, too, it's a choice. It's all a choice. If you want to stay back and wallow, or if you want to go forward and just like, you know what, I might be uncomfortable. Let's get used to this. That's a choice, and make that choice. And I think you did a wonderful job of doing so. Let me see if there's any messages that Spirit might have about maybe how to change things, maybe or to evolve the breath work. Give me a second so I can tune in too with that. It's funny, Lover's card pulled out. That's interesting they say that. They want you to think about this like it's a relationship.
Okay.
Look at this like as if, what if you're dating breathwork class? Okay? How are you treating breathwork class? Are you demeaning it? Are you appreciating it? Are you nurturing it? Are you showing up for it? Treat it like a relationship, because it is a passion of yours. And I can tell you're so natural at doing so and guiding people. It was so natural for you, especially for your first time of doing that. It was so natural. Like, oh, this dude is going to look back in like 2 years and be like, oh yeah, I was questioning whether I could do this. So I saw so much evolution on this. So treat this like a relationship and ask yourself, if this was an actual person relationship, how would you be treating it? And you want to make sure too that you're getting back from it, and you're doing it in a way that you're getting back what makes it joy for you too, and what's pleasure for you too, because that'll also maybe amplify how you go about structuring the class and the format. You get more inspired on it. So I think that you're going to have a wonderful way of evolving. And again, we're here to be your guinea pigs. And, and at some point you start charging for your time. That's what you should be doing. Okay. Because I know you have reservations about charging for your time, but you can't create that karma that I'm going to just only give and not receive. That's bad karma, because then you attract people who actually will keep taking advantage of you. And then you'll be pacifying people that are just the cancers and bottom feeders of society. Don't do that. You got to give and a take. And so I want you to start working on that too, and start creating a business plan about how you can actually make a class. How can you start bringing clients and community of people, create an advert for it, right? And I'll run it here, and, find ways to present that now, and I think a lot of us will keep supporting you.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's definitely been a shift. I mean, from when I woke up Tuesday to I didn't really sleep Tuesday night. I slept like 2 hours. I woke up at 11 o'clock, and then I just was up till the next day, till midnight the next night. I think I might have taken a nap, but
that's excitement, James. That's excitement.
And so, no, I've got stuff I'm going to shift. And if whoever was that's in the chat, Brittany, I'd love you to come too if you can. But I want to do one in 2 weeks on the new moon cycle. Just
sounds great. The apex. Keep me posted. Keep me posted. So, keep me posted so I can we can tell the people in my show, and they keep us posted on that too. And maybe I think next time open up for donations instead. I would recommend that. Open up for donations. Maybe not charge. Just be open for donations if they want.
Well, I do have to say, Karma, thank you for the donation you did give me. I'm grateful. I didn't expect anything to come, because thank you for saying it was good, and her testimonial and everybody. I thought it was I'll give myself a D. I passed, but I made the effort, but it's not what I wanted it to be. So if you were there the first time, you got to come the next time, because I know I'm going to knock it out the park, especially if you're there the first time.
And we're going to have to get Wesley there. So Wesley said he'd love to be there. So we'll have to get him there too. So you keep us posted. We'll keep you posted, Wesley, on when and how. And so, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be the 24th of June, and I'll have a QR code ready and an Eventbrite thing set up for next week so that I could share it with you if possible.
Perfect. Sounds awesome. Anything else before we close out, James? Anything else before we close out?
No,
we love you, man.
Grateful.
We love you. We love you. And Yeah, we love you and we believe in you. We support you, and we need to help each other light workers because we need to change this fucking planet. All right, yes. I'm tired of living in a very congested planet. We need some more light workers. We've been asleep too long. We need more. So it helps us when you also shine your light. Okay.
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat and everyone that came. If I forgot your name because I haven't seen the recording yet, I apologize. I know you were there. I know you were there. So
you're good. You're good, my friend. Brother, good to see you. Have a good night, my brother.
Take care. Love you guys.
Love you. All right, next we have we don't mean to. We sorry to put you full screen there. Let me change. Can I change the order here a bit? Let's see here. Let's add you to the right. Okay, add you to the right. No, add you to the left. I'm trying to get the order correct here, but hey, that's fine. You're in the center of both of us. How about that?
Oh my gosh.
Nope, wrong direction.
let me make sure we can get your. Let me make sure I can get your audio correct real quick. It's a little low. Let me just say something now, Mandy.
Hi.
Perfect. Got you up. Gotcha. I'm working on the new audio stuff. I'm live out of the box here on my own here. So what's your question for both of us? Yeah.
Hi. Okay, so this would be the third live that we've done together, and we did a one-on-one. Do you remember?
Yes, of course.
So, yeah.
How can I forget you, girl? How am I going to forget you?
Hi, Brittany. Okay, so this week was really rough. I'm trying to do my readings right, and I'm doing my videos, and I'm comfortable on video, but literally had a nervous breakdown this week because it's like there's something, and you told me to do them the way that I want to do them, and I don't understand. I can't figure out how I want to do them. I get this feeling of I want to do it differently, but I don't know how. And when I'm doing my tarot readings, I literally feel like I'm just explaining the cards and the meanings of the cards, and I feel like I'm not getting the messages, and I'm only saying what the meaning of the cards are, and I don't know why. So I don't know what I'm missing. Yeah,
you're just in your head. You're just in your head. You're not connecting the reading with the emotional, intuitive vibe. So that's what's happening here. So that's practice will get out of that, because once you understand, because you might not be fully confident in the cards too, which is why you're maybe focusing on getting the meaning correctly on the cards too much too. I would say let the card be a guide. Even if the meaning of the card doesn't really come to you, what vibe are you getting? What vibe is the card evoking out of you? Start with that first, because I still feel like you're just so a little trepidatious because do I know the card? Do I know this? Is it symbol correctly? So you're trying to process the meaning of the card too much. Let it be a guide of what pulls out of you with your intuition. You know, when I was starting to learn tarot, because I started to learn tarot later on in my career because I didn't need it because I was a psychic medium, or I am. So I wanted to learn the technology just because I want to have more under my belt. And so in the beginning, a card would pull up, but one card always gave me a certain emotion, even though it was the wrong meaning. But I always knew it was my symbol for an energy that I was resonating with the card. So do that for now. Don't focus so much on getting the card meaning right. See what the intuition is coming out, because you have to be psychic in order to really interpret the cards anyway. In time, you might find that your intuition is kind of really aligning with the idea, the message of the card.
It just feels like I can't hear, I can't feel, I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
You're in here. You're in your head too much. Yeah, Brittany, take over, because maybe say it in another way. Because I'm just saying, you're in your head too much. Keep doing it. You'll get out of your head. It's like performers when they go on the stage for the first time. They're not feeling the song. They're like, am I going to sing the right note correctly? Am I going to be on pitch? Or am I going to remember the words? Because they have all that anticipation because they're first new on stage. The more they're on stage, they just sing the freaking song. So Brittany, you take over.
Yeah, the overthinking is definitely clogging the clarity. So I feel like you're just tapped into the wrong frequency and the wrong channel. You're like tuning into 106.1 and hoping that 93.3 is going to come through. So it's like our, brain waves and our heart waves and the intuition operate on totally different frequencies. And so what I would recommend is actually relaxing your body before you go into the reading, like even more so than you probably do, because when you're channeling energy, and that's what you're doing, is like you're trying to be a channel but holding the hose closed, like but I don't trust that I'm not gonna perform correctly and they're gonna judge me. But I'm gonna be real honest that if you're able to pull those cards up and say the key words, you're 99.9% ahead of most fucking humans on this planet that know how to read tarot. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not like 7 billion people know how to read tarot, and you're the only one left behind in the dust, babe. So you're already so far ahead of the game that I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. And if you're bringing those keywords up, like that's perfect. You just need more time, more practice. It's like, if you want to be a good photographer, take 10,000 photos. It's the same with reading cards. If you want to be great at reading tarot, read 10,000 cards, and in time you'll get it. And especially if you're recording yourself, now you're thinking a whole nother layer. So just give yourself time, grace, and space, and maybe challenge yourself to do it more or try it differently.
That's what I'm trying to do, is trying it differently. Like, I don't know why, like every time I do a video, and again, it's a new channel, I get that I'm getting like 10 or 15 views on my videos, but I feel like sometimes I'm like literally I had like a issue this week where I was like, I'm just going to pack up my tarot cards. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. And I ended up rearranging all of my cards by element, because I thought, well, maybe the energy in the room is just way too chaotic, and I've caused this by having
let me interrupt. Like, you're exasperating the wrong energy. That's what's happening here, right? I'm a musician. I've been a musician since I was a kid. I still create music. There's times I'm like, I get frustrated too, but I'm blocked, and I just learn to just take a break from it for a second. Again, because you're overthinking it right now, as you should be, right? There's nothing to change. I would say, when you go to a reader, what do you expect? What do you want? Do you want them to just recite things to you, or do you want them to kind of like feel from the heart, right? So I want you to kind of mimic what you expect for a read and say, well, that's what I want to do for now, right? And so, not putting the pressure on getting the cards right and stuff like that. Perhaps maybe you should try an alternate too, like automatic writing, or do something alternative to just a tarot. Maybe have multiple tools right now, because the tarot is very extensive. It is. It's very complex. And if you're new to that, there's a lot of different interpretations, the meanings. Sometimes I get a card, like, to see the Four of Wands here, it could be my rest and relaxation card. It could also be, someone's about to die. It could be also like something's about to happen, or they need to take more rest and relaxation. It depends on what the vibe I get with the card that comes up, right? It could also be that there's a renewness coming about too. So there could be so many dichotomies to one card that falls in the same vicinity. That's your intuition that will come out. So perhaps maybe you should also practice automatic writing, or another method, or oracle cards, too, that are more simplistic. But what you're experiencing is so normal. Like, we all go through that shit. We all, like, when I first was like doing, it took me a while to even decide I wanted to be on social media. But when I was like, getting frustrated about how to do it, and it's just, that's normal. Like, it's part of the process. Once you kick that out and stop beating yourself up, then it'll come out. You just have to honestly not give a shit. Just say, look, you're gonna fail. Something's gonna be wrong, right? And so in the beginning, as being a reader, like, I was never wrong, but sometimes my symbols were wrong. It takes time to understand how to interpret the symbols, right? That's why writing is a good tool to use too, to journal. But this is normal. This happens. This is, everybody starts something new and feels what you're feeling. That is not abnormal, no matter what the space is. In this space, it's even more, because how do we validate the space for other people, right? So it's completely normal. Understand there's been a lot more moments like that, and just write it out and take a breather. And get back to it, and always remind yourself that's normal. Again, every job that I've done, I've had frustrations. Even now I have frustrations with things like that. I know how to just ride that wave out and go back to what I love about it. Right. Okay. And remember your niche. Remember your niche too, Mandy. Like, your niche, and understand like how to format with your niche. And so maybe those who deal with anxiety and frustration, the way you've been dealing with it, maybe that's something you want to target, those types of themes and messages too in your reads.
Right. So I think the other day, between me and my oldest daughter, who's kind of spiritually advanced, we, because I was just sitting down and I'm like, this isn't how I want to do it. This isn't what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. And so we were talking, and I was using my pendulum, and they just kept circling like the months. And I'm like, I don't want to do like zodiac signs because I'm astrology challenged. And it just kept circling the months. And so I asked it, do you want me to do zodiacs for the sober souls? And it was like, yes. And so I was like, okay, I can kind of do that. I can do this zodiac sign reading for the sober souls, and I can dive into like the characteristics of each sign and see how that can correlate to like addiction and things like that. And I'm like, God, is this the right direction that I should go? Should I like kind of like, it does force me to look at astrology and get to know each of the signs, and then learn their traits and how it can kind of correlate with obsession and things like that.
And that could be another tool too. It doesn't have to be just to the tarot. Go ahead, Brittany.
I know. I almost said when I was channeling to you earlier, I was like, when I started doing Woo Woo Wednesday and reading tarot, I would like experiment with doing zodiac pulls and this and see what was popular. And I'll tell you what, those zodiac pulls get way more views if I write all 12 signs or zodiac. Like, so if your spirit is telling you in the pendulum, stop overthinking and I pulled the Wheel of Fortune for you. I don't know how many times this card is going to come up on your channel, Scott, but let spirit take the wheel and just turn your mind off and let it flow through, baby girl, and just keep creating. And this is the last thing I'll give you that has come through is when you're done with the video, ask the question, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? Rather than beating yourself up and automatically feeling like, oh, it wasn't perfect. Go into it thinking, how can I always improve? How can I get better? I mean, when I spoke on stage, when I met Scott at Unite the Light, the first thing I got off the stage and Chris was like, okay, what could you have done that would have been better? And it automatically got me to go into the parts that we avoid. And we're like, oh, I was perfect, right? I'm like, no, actually, I didn't even talk about XYZ. Holy shit. Right. I got to make sure I always include that, you know? So I think just being not overcritical or like beating yourself up, but just doing it from like that temperance energy that Scott pulled earlier is like that middle way of like, I just want to get better, but I'm not going to beat myself up and hold myself back. And
I love that, Mandy. I still do that to this day. I watch back, say, when did I talk too much? Especially editing my videos, like, oh, why I got to stop saying, of course. Like I do that all the time, and like, why do I say this all the time? And why am I doing my sinus noises when I'm talking? So I still correct in how to shorten things, how to make a point better. Like I do it to this day still on Leading Out Loud. I'm Christopher constantly going over what do we change. We were long-winded here all the time. So right now, what you're realizing your frustration is you're not allowing yourself to be in flow. That's what you want to work on. How do I allow myself to be in flow when the cameras are on, when I'm forced to perform? That's what you need to be working on. That's the challenge right now. And so that's normal. You get used to that, you know? And so once you do, then yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like being on the video. Like I have no problem. I'm easy. I usually upload it and I don't even have to edit it. But I've noticed lately, like when I rewatch it, like I'll publish it, like, okay, fine, it's good. Like it is what it is. It's what I did, right?
Perfect.
And I usually don't beat myself up too much, but I've noticed lately, like I'll rewatch it and be like, you totally missed that message with the cards. Like, how did you not see that it was actually this? You know, like
But here's the thing that's beautiful. But here's the thing that's beautiful about spirit, though. Like, even though you might have misinterpreted, it still will resonate with somebody because you still pulled something that was true. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and perhaps perhaps you pulled the wrong card, but you didn't know the interpretation. But spirit's like, talk about this instead. It's all true. You know.
Did I take down my little guides here? Like, I literally have a few words for each of the cards in case I forget what the cards mean.
Keep them on there. No, keep them on there. That's fine.
I thought maybe I was like hindering myself by like having like training wheels on.
Hell no.
Okay.
There's people that make their own tarot cards and their own stuff, but yeah. But we have to, for time, we have, yeah.
Sorry. Why don't you try channeling without your cheat sheet, and maybe that'll make you feel like you're actually not just repeating keywords and having to pull from your intuition. Just experiment. Like I say, keep the keywords. Hell, I still look them up every fucking day. Like, because I'm still learning the Kabbalah. I'm still learning all the things that are connected to it. The astrology. It's not just like the symbolism. It's so deep. So even to this day, I read the keywords, but I think there's something to be said about ditching the guidebook and just fucking speaking from the heart, because the truth is you're channeling spirit. And if you just get out of the way, the words come out that you don't even need to know what you're saying. Like, it doesn't even matter.
Right.
That's why it's like, we don't need the cards. We don't need the cards. They're just like a tool to help guide or make you feel comfortable. But the truth is spirit is just coming through and saying what it
when
wants
I have readings all day and I come on my live show, I'm just like, instead of sitting there and let it come to me, this will just be a quicker way to save my energy. You know, so, and actually the Four of Wands for you as we close, because for time we have actually Kristen backstage. Four of Wands for you is understanding your home energy right now too. Like, get your home energy vibrant. Like, bring more of this energetic space in your home life. Like, live and breathe it outside of when you're not doing it, and understand this is my role. Bring that essence into your home too, because that will be your foundation, and that will keep you better in flow. Actually, you know, so, and again, remember your purpose. They're saying to the mission is to help those with addiction and those who have that type of personality. I mean, when you have a niche like that in a broad environment, that can garnish a audience a lot quicker. You know, so you're on track, my love. What you're experiencing is very normal.
Okay.
Keep doing
So maybe
Yeah.
just for like a point of reference, when do you see me doing more one-on-ones? Because I feel like I struggle because I'm like kind of doing like a collective read, and I feel like it's maybe too much chaotic energy trying to like tap into a collective read.
I think you should. I think you should be doing one-on-ones now. I think the collective is
But
too.
I'm willing. When do you see me maybe doing that more often?
Yesterday.
I'm,
Yesterday.
When you decide. When you decide.
Huh?
When you decide.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I would recommend that, you know, I would look into doing that more so because you're more confident, especially for friends. You know, like when I first started, and we have Kristen coming up. I don't want to be too long-winded, but when I started, you know, and Spirit told me to do this as a profession when I didn't want to, I said, okay, I'll do free readings for people in exchange for a review, and I did. I was doing readings. They gave me a review. This way, you feel comfortable. There's no money exchange. You feel comfortable that they'll be like, yeah, a lot of people are willing to get a free reading. If you're wrong, they're just like they'll pull something out of it. They'll be excited to do so. You can use that as a testing ground for you to really kind of be more focused on one. A collective right now, you're getting a lot of different energy, you know, but for me, collective energy is like, what is the individual message from Spirit? I think you're opening up too much to different energies. So when you have a collective message, say, what is Spirit's unified message in that way? But I would encourage to do one-on-ones for free in exchange for reviews. I would do that personally. Do you agree? Brittany, what do you think?
I agree. I mean, if you're asking when, then your soul is ready. So you just have to decide that you're going to do it and get it on the calendar. You know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm stepping on you, Brittany, in this one because she's one of my clients. So I have so much passion for her to get her started. So I'm sorry I was stepping on you with this reading. So because I love Mandy.
I love you too.
Thank you, Mandy. Have a good night. Yes, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and I see that. I see the passion here, and Mandy, people are loving your energy. You obviously are great on camera. You have a beautiful sparkle, but you've just got to fucking stop overthinking. Like, just show up and shine, deliver the message, love, do it again, do it again, do it again. That's it. Like, and don't get in the way. Don't get in the way.
Okay.
That's simple. Remember, say, okay, I heard the message, right? Somebody hear it like it's simple. It's like, but no, really focus on that though. You know, just don't take the message because it's simple. Focus on it. But I agree with Brittany. Manny, good to see you again. I'm very proud of you. I'm protective of you a little bit too. So, but I'm very proud of you. I know you have a wonderful path ahead in this. Otherwise, I wouldn't be saying that. I don't encourage just anybody. You know, you really do have the ability to bring change, especially in that unique niche environment. That's gonna be wonderful for you. So, we love you.
Yeah.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
good night.
Brittany.
Great work.
Bye.
All right, we have next we have Kristen. We're gonna add her to here she is, Kristen. Hi, Kristen. What?
I don't know. I'm excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I know it's been a while since I've actually talked to you, Scott, like this.
Like this, yes, but you're always here for support and it's in the live, so we love that. So what's your question? And Brittany's going to take the lead on this one because I was hogging my client. So yeah, what is your question for Brittany and I?
So my question is, like, Scott, you know, I quit my job, and so I'm done at the end of the summer. I'm a nanny.
Right.
And I'm making the transition into being a professional organizer and cleaner. But I like cleaning commercial buildings or like post-construction because there's a lot more money in it and financial freedom. It still makes me nervous, like that by the end of summer that I'm not going to have the clients that I need to subsidize the income that I'm making right now from nannying. Do you see, like, I'm still getting, not like I'm still doing bids on jobs and things like that, and I'm getting some. Do you still see this like being like a good decision to go this way? And like, is there anything I need to look out for?
Brittany, you go first.
Yeah. For you, I pulled the High Priestess, so it's kind of showing me, you know, my first intuition on you was, I don't think you should be doing the work. I think you should be like running the business of people who work under you. So like, I think there's a bigger enterprise than you are even considering at the moment, in my honest opinion. So I'd like you to maybe think about not necessarily you doing that cleaning work, but how could I create a crew and be that liaison that goes and pitches the bids and then hires the crew to go out. So for me, I actually see like a much bigger vision. So for you to be scared of like, is the income going to replace my nanny job? I'm like, babe, it's an empire you could build. So like I think my honest, piece of advice seeing the high priestess come up for you is that you already know what to do. It's just following that intuition and trusting that every single step is going to unfold in the right timing for you. So I do see it being a positive thing. I think it's even bigger than, like I said, what you're dreaming it to be. So I would start putting together a crew and a team right now. Honestly.
That's great. Cause that's my like end goal is to one day like subcontract out so I don't have to do the cleaning.
Yeah,
and so
I would start that way.
Okay.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was, while you were speaking, that's exactly what I was feeling too, because I'm like, there's no way she's doing that. Like, she's actually being the service that provides it. And I'm like, this is going to sound off the mark too for you too. Somehow you're going to connect with, when they do the crime cleaners, after the crime stuff. I don't know why I feel like you're going to get connected with that somehow too at some point.
Someone told me about that. Someone mentioned that and they were like, you need to look into this.
I feel like you're going to go in that direction because it's going to be fascinating because I don't know, I feel like you're fascinated with death. I don't know why, right? And so maybe you watch too many 48 hours shows, but I think it's so much more lucrative, but I feel like you're going to be helping. There's a cause behind that. They're saying that you're going to enjoy the fact that you're going to be seeing how it's helping families kind of grieve because families without these services, they're left to clean up the messes themselves. And that's how it used to be. And so you understand you want to be a part of that. So I feel you also agreeing with Brittney 100%, hiring people and having a team and a company that also works in that realm is where I see it going too. And there's a lot, we talk money, there's a lot of money behind that. To answer your first question, there's always a phasing process with everything. And so, I'll just understand the phasing process and what you can do temporarily during this time. I don't think there's going to be any issues financially during the phasing period. You'll probably have to be more conscious. But to answer your first question, no, I don't feel there'll be any issues with the phasing process of starting that work. And, I kind of feel that will happen rather soon. You got the generosity card for me, which is the Six of Pentacles. That to me is like, I think someone also might help you with the endeavor. Also, someone might even help you financially during this time. You'd be surprised. I had someone in my 20s where I was a transition to be a composer randomly say, I'm gonna give you $5,000 to do music. I'm like, what? Can we sign a contract? Is it no loan? And so sometimes Spirit will put people in to help you during the bridging phase. And so I really feel like that you'll have some sort of generosity during this time of phasing too. So so you're right on track, baby.
Okay, that makes me feel don't know. Something popped up. That was weird. That makes me feel a little better. It's just like I have trouble with like transitions and things popping out of nowhere. I like to be prepared for things. It's like I just need
I like to be in control.
It's like I just like to know when something's gonna like pop out because I don't handle things like I don't handle change all that good, like immediate change. I need like a process.
You don't say that because getting, as Brittney and I were talking about, like change is where it's getting you your success and the money that you want. So you need to say, I want change, right?
I do want change.
Yes, I'm obsessed with it. So like Brittney was saying, instead of trying to be so in control, want to be in control of how you're processing the situation. Say, I can control about how I'm feeling this situation. I control how I feel about this. I can control myself to be worry mode or to be in like excited determination mode and clear mode. So control how you're experiencing it. All right.
Okay. So, I do worry a little bit. I do worry a little bit about like the family that I'm leaving behind, and like just want to make sure like they're okay. Or
let me tell you something. Brittney, I want you to cross-read me on this one. I don't feel like the family appreciated you enough, and so I don't think that you actually need to be around them. What do you feel on that really quick, Brittney, about the family she left that you nannied for?
You're leaving for a reason, and guilt just stops you from enjoying the choice you make. So fucking make that choice and carry the fuck on, sis. You did your work.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
all right, my love.
I have one tiny little question left.
Sure.
Okay. And so, Scott, I don't know if you remember, like, way back in the day, I was talking to you about, like, a very manipulative, narcissistic ex that I had. I haven't spoken to him. I haven't spoken to him in, like, 3 years. And randomly on one of my TikTok profile, it was so weird because I never checked like who viewed your profile, and I happened to click on it and I saw that he did. And it like freaked me out because again, that like not knowing, I need to be mentally prepared. Like, do I have to worry about him bringing his energy back in? Because I don't want it back in.
But well, the thing is that your energy is still open to it.
How do I shut that up?
Because like you saw that he viewed you, but there's also an excitement behind it. Crush that. Like, ask yourself, do I need to have that psychic channel open? You know what I mean? And so close that psychic channel. I think it's just a reflection that you still have you're still processing. You still have some little bit of hope about it to a certain degree, and just completely
to a certain
squash
degree. Yeah, but I know better. I know better.
Right, but that's a manifestation. So that's just showing to you there's still a crevice in your subconscious that's still like, it's kind of hopeful. Is he still, you'll let me squash that.
He's still the same.
But remember, you're holding on to circumstantial shit, not the person. It's like I said in the collective reading in the beginning. This is you're not resolve the circumstantial shit. Say no. I understand this. I don't need those. I want different circumstances. I'm good. Moving on. Just clear it out. That's all it's doing for you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I heard block him. So.
Okay. Block that shit.
Before you even said any words, just block him.
I think he's blocked on everything, so I just need to double check it then.
Yes, and block it subconsciously. Okay. Thank you, baby boy. Okay, well, good to see you, Kristen. We love you, and you got this. We got a great road ahead, baby, in this new career endeavor. Go for it, shoot for it, because it reads very well. It reads very expansive. So,
all right, thank you so much. Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Okay, Brittany. So this should be quicker. Are you burnt out? Should we want to close down for the readings? Should we close them down?
I'm good.
We have just a couple more that are just they're not video. They're just regular questions. So that might put a more quick factor on it. We have a question from Stephanie, my girl Stephanie Panahana. She says, "Hi, love. Thanks for everything." She says, "I have an irritated tendon, and God willing, after 5 to 6 weeks of physical therapy will be good. My question is, any tips for me to keep this magnetic energy growing and growing?" You go first. What do you feel about that? Her tendon, sprained tendon, and any advice about that?
Yeah, interesting. The Chariot comes up. So for me, it just feels like you're probably pushing in the masculine energy too hard, which is why your body's trying to tell you to fucking relax, to slow down, to like chill out. So for me, it's giving like balance your energy. And it seems like you've probably pushed too hard and like trying to control, force, knock things down. And your body's resisting that tension in the tendon. So I would say relax into flow, trust the process, and maybe let go of the reins a little bit.
That little laugh at the end. That is so true, because I know Stephanie. That's very true. Stephanie, yes, ease up on the pushing. You're like, I gotta do, and so just chillax on that. And I feel like yes, and of course, after 5 years, this doesn't feel like it's a massive, like it's not like you cut your tendon. Like it just feels sprained. It feels inflamed. Of course, if you stop pushing so hard, I feel like you'll be fine at the end of that. So, I think again to Mrs. Stephanie, they're saying focusing on right now maybe meeting some people like socially, focus on social connections. Work's good. You've been focusing on work. They're saying invite more social connections in. So I get on that. So, all right. Next question we have here, and we're pretty much almost done. Actually, we don't have much here. Next is for Beth. Now Beth has a saga with men. We love Beth's sagas and her questions. So unique sagas. Beth's question is, Scott, is my daughter okay? Why does she hardly contact me or answer her phone? The man I've been dating is not all in. He says we will see. Even though I am all in with him, it is because of another woman or man, or is it because of me? Or because how he is. It's a lot. So I'll break this down. I'll go first here to break it down for you, Brittany. So the first question is her daughter okay? Yeah, your daughter's okay.
Your daughter's tired of your bullshit is what it sounds like, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. To frame it, yes. I think your daughter's, she's tired of the I don't say woe is me, Beth. Yeah, I think that your daughter's like you're getting it, or you're not hearing her what she's trying to advise for you. So yeah, I agree with Brittany. It feels like she's kind of annoyed at that. And maybe you might be pondering things way too much, Beth, to where she's like, can I just have a conversation about something other than what she's going through? So yeah, I do feel that as well in that, Beth. And the man dating's not all in because I think he's just taking it slow too. But I feel like he's got the eyes. He's focused here, wants to build up, but he's got the eyes. He's uncertain about the relationship, unlike the others who were cray-cray. I feel like this one is really, you know, I don't think you're selling him on consistency, right? I think you might be too paranoid. He's reading that. That's how I feel about him. So, I mean, will he eventually latch on? That to me is not a full read where I feel like he'll eventually, you know, but I think you got to calm down on it a little bit. I think that's where he's been feeling unsettled, because I actually feel with him, he might be interested, but because you're unsettled, that's making him pull away. What do you got, Brittany?
I agree. No, I agree. I think it's just you're running an old narrative that is, you know, a normal thing to do. Our ego does a great job at protecting us when we've gone through losses or pain or experiences. And so it seems like you're trying to break the cycle in relationships. Like this might actually be the one where you can put an end to that toxic cycle in men. And so I think it's a combination of daughter feels like mom's doing the same thing again, but maybe it's because she doesn't see that you've actually relaxed into this relationship. And because you haven't relaxed, he hasn't gone all in because, you know, he feels that resistance as well. Even though it's like, I'm all in, it's all in out of like a suffocating all in, not in an all in, like unconditional trusting kind of way.
That's a good point. Yeah. And so our in layman's terms, we're both saying chillax. Chill out, relax, you know, enjoy the circumstance. Don't overly question everything. And, you know, and Beth has gone through a very hard divorce. So, you know, she went from, and I hope Beth doesn't mind, I want to share her testimony. She went from like not being able to travel, like being home and not getting out of her skin, to where, you know, after work with her, she's divorced the abusive relationship. And now she's actually meeting people and going on dates, which she thought she was gonna be alone. So there's been a huge transformation there. But at the same time, you know, it's hard. We're going to be anxious in those situations, right, Brittany, where we're just doing that new territory. We're going to, like you said, live that old narrative.
Yeah. And I pulled the 9 of Pentacles, which I love seeing this card show up. And it is a card of abundance and that luxury energy. So for me, it is showing that you're stepping into that higher elevated version where you can have the nice things, honey. They can treat you nice, but you have to like open yourself up to fully receive it without like, it's like, I'm open to receive. I want to go all in, but I've put the wall up to protect myself just in case. And so it's giving mixed signals.
And weeding out the crazies, because there's, oh my gosh, some of these church people, they were fucking cuckoo. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yeah. All right. Next is Jessica. We have 2 more.
Yeah.
And then we'll run your Shine episode 2. Jessica Moore. She says, one question. I've entered a new life phase that has revealed a new partnership. Do you see that partnership serving? It just kind of cuts it off. Okay. Do you see that partnership serving me long term? You want to take a lead on that one?
Did you say Jessica Moore?
Yes.
Okay. Well, interesting. I'm guessing that's my best friend because she is new.
So then I should go first. If you know her, I'll go first. Yeah. Don't show me the card because you know her. I don't know her. So yeah.
You go.
That's why some of my clients are like, you go.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You go first.
Let me look at this relationship here and see what's going on. This happened quick.
Okay. How fun.
I feel like this happened quick, this relationship. I feel like it kind of like came in fast. I feel like it might be moving fast too, in a sense, you know, maybe faster than you anticipated, or the feelings had developed fast. I just feel like a really fastness about the relationship. Let me look at the compatibility, because there's a very neutrality I get with the relationship. So I feel like it can go either way depending on the chemistry between the two of you. Now looking at his energy or their energy, you know, they feel very sincere to me, but there's a reservation underneath that's bearing that sincerity. And I don't think it's personal to you. I just feel like they generally have a reservation with things, and they might even stumble upon their own words or be a little clumsy in a sense, which can also give them the wrong impression of who they really are. You know, so that might be challenging to deal with someone who might be not able to get their words correctly or their expressions correctly. That might be the challenge. I do feel in time, because even though there's a great heart there, I think you're going to start realizing you're taking more of the emotional lead in this dynamic, and that could be cumbersome, or that can be enjoyable. Again, could go either direction. So if you really love being that nurturer and kind of the fire starter in the energy sense, then yeah, I feel like this could be something that could be long term in that sense. But I feel like he's got a lot more purging to do, emotionally, a lot more to get out, a lot of this reservation he has to break through. And please make sure you're not being the one that's overly nurturing the all time. Understand allow him to show up in his own way. That might not be the way you do so. This way you understand his way of communicating his love and affection for you. But there's some challenges on this, but I feel like it can go either direction too. The neutrality I was getting with him is that he could also make those changes as well that I was talking about. So it's open for him to make those changes too. I don't feel like he's like set in his ways. So, all right, Brittany, you know her better than me.
Yeah. And it's also a girl, just so you know.
That's why I said he. I changed it. I said, or, because I figured it wasn't a man when I said it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like sending you the vibes. Like, no, sir. Okay. Funny. You nailed all the things. I do agree. I can see it going both ways. I see it being a long-term relationship for a chapter and for that growth. And will it continue after the lessons that need to be learned are learned? Time will tell. But I feel like it's a positive relationship. I pulled the Queen of Cups. And so for me, that is one that is going to give you that emotional, like you talked about, not being the person that's constantly emotionally giving. And because I personally know her, I know that was the role she played. So I feel like you just have to make sure you walk that line very carefully, that it doesn't shift over time, that you are feeling like you're the one receiving, but then somehow get trapped into now I'm the giver all the time.
Yeah. And so it's really about I think this relationship is going to bring a lot of balance. For her primarily. I don't know if he's going to understand that, but I think for her, yeah, definitely. Excuse me, she. Sorry, I keep saying that. I don't know if I think your friend Jessica, right? Am I reading here? Jessica will get the balance of this. I don't think her partner will necessarily in time. There's again because that reservation feels like it's hard to break through that. For her partner. So
I think partners too hurt to evolve to the level that Jessica wants to evolve to.
Yes, that's exactly. That's exactly what I feel. And not that and I feel like she wants it, right? But again, all our unresolved shit will always block us from it, But yeah, again, to be redundant, or repetitive, just make sure you're not bringing that on too much, Jessica. That's all. But they're saying it's needed. What I say in these situations, Brittany, all the time is I'm like, it's a ticket to love. Either with them or somebody else. You have to experience this to experience the next loving relationship, either through this person or through someone else as your ticket to love. So
yeah, the lessons and the growth are definitely going to be available within this. It's just how far do you want to take it, and at what point do you recognize within a relationship the growth has come to an end and it's not continuing?
100%.
Yeah.
All right. So, and guys, a lot of people think too, because it's not going to be forever. I'm not going to continue with it. It's like, don't do that. Don't think like that, because then you'll get out of that. Someone else will come and think it's the one, and you have to go through the same thing. So please understand, accept those seasonal relationships if they're needed to get you to where you need to be. Because if you're just like, well, it's not long-term, I'm going to release it, you'll keep that pattern of being alone. You keep that pattern of being the same thing over and over again. Right. And so just work through it. And that's more for the crowd because I see so many people they want to go to psychic and see, is this going to be for the forever, man? You say no, okay, well, I'm going to drop them. It's like, no, but this is a karmic thing you got to go through. You know what I mean?
If it's not this person, it'll be the next. You got to deal with it.
Right. Yeah. And then they keep calling us back for the same reason. Is this the one? Is this the one? Right. We have last but certainly not least is, we have one or two more, I think, here. Cause I think someone just sent another Venmo in. Stephanie. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so next is for Karma. She says she wants to look for a new attorney. Will this help? Will help me get this resolved? What's the next step for me to navigate towards my? Sorry, just there it goes. Let me read that over again because PayPal is acting strange. I want to look for a new attorney. Will this help me get this resolved? What's the next step for me to navigate towards my dream life? Thank you. Okay, there's two questions there. So, first question, Brittany, do you feel like getting a new attorney will help get her current legal situation resolved? What's your kind of read on that?
I think my answer is always going to be, if you're feeling called to go with someone else, trust that pull. If it's not working for you, if the energy's not there, what's the harm in trying something new or trying a different partner? It's the same in relationships. If it ain't working, try a different one. So I think the answer is yes. If you're feeling called to try something new, trust your intuition on that. Now, the second question about what's the next step in my dream life? I mean, that's a very, very vague, open question, but the real truth is follow what feels good. Like what lights you up, what brings you joy, to give the most vague answer to that question without really digging deep into it. I think when it comes to like living your dream life, you have to decide what your dream life even looks like. What does success mean to you? What would feel good to your nervous system? Is that living out in the country? Is that living in the city? I think just figuring out who you really are, what is important to you, and what you're passionate about as a foundation for answering that question to be able to move forward.
Yes, and I agree. With this legal system, yeah, you're going to need someone new for this to resolve. So, yes, if you feel like they need someone new, that means whatever is going now is not sufficient enough. But I feel like, again, this legal situation for me feels so complex, so layered, so thick that this new person needs to be very well equipped for that. So make sure when you're seeking that out, this person is very well equipped to deal with the thickness of this legality, right? That's what they're saying too. And I agree with the dream life, what Brittany was saying. It's like, yeah, a lot of these questions really have to talk about your focusing on your center of your heart. But one thing I want to say to you is, you got to really get the connection to horses and gear. You got to start working with horses, get that going, get yourself surrounded in that nature. I love what Brittany said about being around the country. Yes, find a location where you can do these things, and the connection to horses, whether it be through breeding, through equine therapy, or whatever you're doing with the training, that's something that is the direction of the quote unquote dream life. Keep going in that direction with it. Okay.
A horse person, how fun! So the nature definitely resonates. That's beautiful.
Yeah. It's the same. When you said find a location, nature, the environment was like key, for a lot of that. The answer to that, 100%. All right, okay, guys, we're going to close down the readings because if you guys want to get them in now, any questions in, get them in quickly because we're going to shut them down now. So, last chance. I feel like I'm offering fucking like a deal here for like a giveaway. Last chance. Last and not least, we've read. Stephanie is the same person who asked about the tendon thing, whatever. Her second question is she paid for is because you guys Britt, you're so good. My question is, how do I keep growing my magnetic energy? I feel like I'm a walking magnet.
Gratitude. I think putting yourself in that high vibration, the attitude of gratitude, as cheesy as it sounds, is truly how you become a magnet for miracles. Orgasm and gratitude. Drink your water.
Orgasm. I'm glad you said orgasm because I've been trying to push her, say now let's focus, open for love now. Love's around the corner. Open up to love, open up to social life, open up to relationships. So yes, and if you're attracting, engage. It doesn't mean that you have to fucking go home with it. Engage with it. Be flirty in life. Brittany's correct about that too. Flirt with life a little bit more too when it's coming to you. Even if someone's not your type, flirt back with it and just go on your way. Engage with it. So I agree, because the magnetic energy, right, Brittany, it's a demonstration that you're living a vibrant state, right? So play with it, Stephanie. Play with it.
Yeah, feel good. Keep feeling good. That's the energy. That's feel joy. That's how you magnetize.
Right? Hello, people. All right. Well, anything you want to say in closing to sign us off? That you want to share. Advice. What do you want to pitch? Pitch. Just good pitching period right now too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think give yourself more credit. I see this message coming up so much this week, so I'm just going to echo it here. I think we've come such a long way. We've grown so far. We've transformed a lot. We've let go and broken cycles. And I don't think we give ourselves enough credit to pat ourselves on the back and be like, wow, I fucking did that. And so for me, my invitation is just to celebrate yourself a little bit more. So if we want to lift our attitude into that high vibration magnetic state, then I think appreciate yourself more. Appreciate means to make more of. So give yourself more credit, celebrate yourself, put yourself on your gratitude list tonight. And if you want to come party with us, then come join us next Friday. soon in Aubrey, Texas. It's just north of Dallas. It's a full day women's wellness event where we work through holistic healing in mind, body, and soul. Dance party it out, burn the bullshit. It's all plant-based. Oh, it's so much fun. So if you want to come party with me, and here's the truth, because that's like what Scott and I delivered here today. Like there's no doubt where that came from. So definitely come check us out at Summer Solstice. But honestly, Scott, I also want to pitch. My pitch is that we do this again because I love talking to you. I love hanging out with you. I think our energy is just a beautiful, like 1-2 punch.
Hello. Yeah, we could do monthly. I was actually doing it with Chris Reck monthly. I just talked to Chris Reck last week too. And we were talking about teaming up again too. Love Reck. So yeah, we could definitely do like once a month type of thing, do some collabs and stuff, like for sure, and we can like talk about things too. Like I know this is kind of like spur of the moment last week, and maybe we can like actually talk about a specific heavy topic, in our spiritual community that, we can shoot the shit on in that regard, and then do our own collective read and kind of make more of it. This is kind of more like a spur of the moment type of thing we did, but we can plan it out more and get some heavy topics in, and maybe have like more people calling in about the topic, and so we can facilitate together and collaborate on how to do it. So I think it'd be great collab.
Yeah, I think so. It was so much fun. And just to answer James' question, how you get rid of split ends is you get a haircut, my friend. Go fucking cut your hair.
James, split ends. Or do what I did, just buy some. It's easier.
Fine.
All right. Well, it's good to see.
They're only going if you cut them.
Exactly. So good. Thank you so much for coming on. Stay backstage because I'm just going to do a closeout and run your commercial, and then we'll touch base after. Just stick around for like another 5 minutes as we close because I'm going to shoot the shit and we'll diverge on a couple things before we close. So thank you, Brittany. Have a good night. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye. All right, guys. Well, thanks for showing up. It's been wonderful to see you guys. Let me close down this stupid. We don't need the readings up anymore because someone's paying for readings. Simple messages, guys. And if you look at a lot of the reads we had today, the messages are quite simple with some of these questions, and not that you don't need the advice or the coaching on that. Sometimes it is as simple as, what do you really feel like? What you're feeling is actually go that direction. It's not predictable, or this isn't predictable. Not every microtransaction in your life is predictable. And I think that's where certain people might, misunderstand things, that every step is written in the stars. Not every step is written in the stars, but a lot of times I still like to forecast where it's going if it's not predictable. So make sure you guys understand to take those leaps, make those changes, and don't overly question things. Don't overly mystify things, guys. Can't explain to you how many times as a mystic I have to tell people to don't overly mystify things. So keep it simple, stupid, right? And understand, keep the mysticism to your intuition. Keep the mysticism to your creation. Don't overly process, and understand everything has a momentum, everything has an evolution, and you're never starting from the top. You're always starting at the bottom in a sense, and that doesn't mean it's bad or good. It just means that there's an evolution that we enjoy. The evolution is the point. That's our joy. That's our amazing experiences that we came here for, is to evolve, not to have it figured out. So when you embrace that, then you'll actually probably enjoy the process. As we hear all the time, enjoy the journey. It's like, it's not so much about enjoying the journey. What is the journey? Then you will enjoy the process. Understand that theme. All right. I love every single one of you guys. If you guys want to book a one-on-one session with me, scottcruzpm.com. Again, life readings, mediumship sessions, intuition builder sessions. Of course, my life readings are extensive: health mediumship, little past life regressions, trauma resolution, trauma healing, as well as relationships, career advice. And so I've helped so many businesses get off the ground too, as well as Brittany's. Brittany's a business strategist too, so link with her too on that. scottcruzpm.com. And I'm closing with the High Priestess card, which is all about your mystical energy, babies. That divine feminine, mystical intuition, psychic energy. We all got it. Give birth to it and nurture it. Okay. I'll see you all next week. If you didn't catch yesterday's episode of Leading Out Loud, check it out on my page or Leading Out Loud's page, and catch us next week. And I'll catch you next week here too. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. I love you. Here's again a nice promo for summer solstice, so you guys can see what it actually looks like. All right. Good night. You're the god of the gods and goddesses of your own myth. What do you want to create? Much love. Good night.
Welcome to summer solstice! Summer solstice is magical and empowering.
Enlightening, welcoming.
It feels like we are in this really expansive energy together.
What you can expect at summer solstice is a mind, body, soul, holistic experience for women's wellness, where we bring the community together, most importantly to celebrate your self-love, sisterhood, and connection. But we also shine a light on vendors, service providers, and other boss babes doing incredible work in the world. It's not about doing it alone anymore. It is about collaboration over competition. It is so cool to see so many empowered, community-driven women coming into one place and co-creating this energy that is going to have a ripple effect into every single one of our lives. My intention is that you receive exactly what you need, that you take absolute control of your life, that you recognize that you have the power. You do not need permission. You already have everything you need inside of you, but it is about putting yourself in the right room with the right people that reflect back to you your amazingness, your sparkle magic, to keep you accountable when you feel anything less than. We created this one-day wellness event to basically be the ultimate pampering and play for women. It's like the slumber party you always wished you had in high school.
I just want to say thank you, Scott, for all of your reassurance and guidance. I had a mediumship reading and you brought my uncle and my mother-in-law forward. And I mean, there was things that you said that nobody would know. Like, it was so accurate. It was insane. And I appreciate the closure that I got and the peace that I felt. And I really appreciate even more that you are a genuine person who truly cares. That made the biggest difference for me. Thank you, Scott.
Hey, I just wanted to take a minute to thank Scott Cruz. He made such a huge difference in my grief. I'm a little bit emotional because he just said things about my husband and my papa that there's no way anybody could have known or guessed. I know my children were skeptical. Scott told me they would visit me, and they both are together, and they have both visited me together. He told me things about my grandchildren, nicknames. There's nothing he could have known beforehand. So I definitely appreciate him, and if you're having any issues, struggling through grief and needing some guidance or just needing to feel okay, talk to Scott.
Hey there, my name is Chad, and over the past 6 or 7 years, I've probably had about 4 or 5 readings with Scott Cruz. He brought up personal things that I don't know how nobody else would know but me, and he brought them up, which was just incredible. And one thing I will say is Scott tends to talk fast, so take notes. I've taken notes since the very beginning because sometimes they don't make sense. He'd said something, it didn't make sense to me. And then a year and a half later, after I had spoken to someone and I reread those notes, I was like, oh wow, Scott nailed it back then. Didn't make sense then, but it made sense as time passed. I was able to find something out. It was just incredible. And the last thing is what I like about Scott is he doesn't seek out fame or fortune from this. He genuinely wants to help people. I thoroughly recommend an appointment with Scott. Go ahead and book it. You won't be disappointed.
Scott Cruz is popularly known for his life-changing one-on-one readings to also guide in your soul ascension journey. With life readings, get insight into your relationships, career, health, trauma healings, past life regressions, and more. Want to connect with a loved one who's transitioned? Scott's mediumship session can be the gateway to you and your loved ones in spirit, bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual realm. If you want to enhance your own psychic ability, Scott's Intuition Builder session can help expand your psychic and mediumship abilities. So sign on to scottcruzpm.com to book your own personal session today.